miles and I'd walk 500 more to be the guy who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Okay, well, now let me ask you a question, because I've heard your singing voice and you're not bad, but you just kind of chanted that. Can you actually try to sing it without music?
Okay, let's see. I'd walk 500 miles and I'd walk 500 more. And I'd walk 1,000 miles to be the man who falls down at your door. Do 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 do.
Now you're better off chanting. It sounded less gay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Try to remember the time of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September
I can barely remember
and rain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. And then there's some people saying follow. Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except the willow. Try to remember when life was so tender that dreams were kept beside your pillow. Try to remember when life was so tender that love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. And then the bunch of people doing the follow. Try deep in December, it's nice to remember, although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, without her a heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow.
Yeah, it disturbs me as
December, our hearts should remember and follow.
You know what disturbs me is that we're actually in September.
I'm calm, I'm perfectly calm, I'm utterly under control. I haven't a hurry, or rather to hurry and stroll. Alright, I did sing one from the Fantastics. Now the other one is to start from what? From the it's from what? It's from what? With Zero Cell? Yes, you got it. Anything on the way to the farm.
Yes, I haven't said anything in 5 minutes.
He is having something funny on the way to the farm. A cup of joe made by Socrates, but anyhow.
Yeah, I ran into her a few times.
Yeah.
Socrates, that is.
Make sure there's no hemlock in that cup of joe.
That's not Joe, I'm drinking. That's what she said. Think about that. That was striking funny in church.
Okay, Julius Caesar.
Brutus. Enough with the cutting remarks. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I do sing on the fly, like I have made up songs on my own.
You sing on the fly? Have you tried having your pants up?
No, I sing on the fly, you know, like I will make up a song, it'll be improvisational.
Oh, off the cuff.
Off the cuff, yeah.
And onto what?
Oh.
You know, as much as I love to rap the Clintons, I gotta say, I gotta give them credit for being able to pronounce their own names. I have to think for a second before I say the name Clinton. Which you gotta guess to why.
Or Dianne Feinstein if you can ever pull her out of Congress, but since there's no term limits in Congress, anyhow, and that's for both houses, so.
That's true, but I don't really point anyone out of anything.
And if you want to have a good laugh, when it's aired, watch the House of Commons. I mean, that is hilarious. Well, it is actual political, but it is hilarious. It is aired on C-SPAN, but it is broadcast from either Canada or from England. And when it's the British one, it's even more hilarious.
Oh yeah, Canada seems to be dry.
Pop his fist off.
I gotta use that joke gingerly. That's not bad enough. I've just done 2 Canada dry jokes under a minute.
Oh. Actually, I thought Utah was dry.
You love me, that stuff. Cause once you're in Utah, you're high enough.
Okay, thank you, Brigham Young.
Just remember the great words of Brigham Young. He said, okay, Brigham, a Brigham Young.
Wow.
Rodney Dangerfield, the state's gonna sue my ass.
Oh.
I'm doing his act.
Apparently.
I tell you, I got no respect at all. That's right. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with Michael Schur where I have said that exact line of I have no respect at all. It goes, well, if you were anybody else, I wouldn't be worried. I was like, thanks, I think.
Wow.
Anyway. Slight exaggeration on the truth. Those weren't exactly his words, but they will suffice for that joke.
Right.
It was more like, why am I not surprised? He laughs because he knows it's true.
Wow.
Isn't that Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Beyonce Knowles?
Wow. Yeah, I like Christina Aguilera. I'm not sure about the other two, but anyhow.
Yeah, well, that's Britney's prerogative. As far as Christina Aguilera goes, you gotta give her credit. She knows what a girl wants.
I do like Christina Aguilera, but anyhow.
Yeah, so did you see Burlesque? The movie?
No.
Excellent movie, dude. Check it out. I cannot give that movie enough props. Great songs, great costumes, pretty good acting. Especially by Aguilera and Cher. And Cher does a very good song called You Haven't Seen the Last of Me. And I love the song Show Me How You Burlesque.
Wow.
And Tough Lover was another one. As was I'm a Good Girl and Express, the Ladies of Burlesque.
Wow.
There you go, those are the best songs. Go hunt them down, vote like them.
Okay, enough on Burlesque.
Yeah, how about volleyball? Okay, go ahead.
But anyhow, there are times where you actually try and don't and you just visually a little bit try, obviously, because you would actually hurt yourself if you actually really try to envision it.
I hurt myself anyway.
But there are times where people will make a statement, and they'll give a reference that really seriously, like, don't try to truly visualize it. Like my neighbor and friend Joe, sometimes he will, and then he'll say this in reference to my other friend and neighbor Brenda. He'll sometimes say, talking to Brenda is like trying to nail Jello to a wall.
I would ask how, but it hardly makes sense. But then I know Brenda. No, I said that I said in this joke, she's a very sweet, kind, somewhat elderly lady.
It looks like a whale, but anyway.
If you're listening, Brenda, I didn't say it. Wasn't me.
Joe does call her that sometimes, but I don't really condone it. Anyhow.
You don't condone it, huh? How dare you? Hasn't she always given you cakes and breads and...
Yeah, she does give me that stuff, and sometimes I do call Joe out on things, like if he starts to use the N-word, and